everybody, it is Calxiyn here of Calxiyn Cares Too Much, and I am going to be reacting to the Wicked official trailer today, and I'm super excited. But before we get into it, if you're new here, I'm a professional musical theater performer and songwriter, and usually on this channel, we are doing video essays, breakdowns of songs, very in-depth, bar-by-bar kind of situation. So this is a bit of a different thing. I feel like it's a special occasion to be able to see the trailer for the first time, and then I'm also going to do a bit of an analysis, a discussion. I have seen Wicked. Can you guys see my little jacket is back here? I love how it's like the half and half. It only makes the full word if you zip it up together, but I don't really watch things with real people in them. Like, I watch Bridgerton, that's it. So I don't really know anything about like actors and stuff like that. I only watch live people when it's in a live setting, when it's a musical on stage. Otherwise, I'm more of like an animation type of girly. I don't listen to pop music at all. So I feel like that actually puts me in a very unbiased position, because a lot of people are going to obviously have their biases, whether positive or negative, to Ariana Grande, right? I do not listen to any pop music whatsoever, so I'm just like, I don't know any of these people. I can sort of see them as the characters as opposed to, oh, that's the actor I know from such and such playing this character, right? So I feel like I'm in a very good position for that. Obviously, you guys saw my jacket. I saw the show when I was 12. I still remember my mom covering my eyes when Elphaba and Fiero were going at it, like, as long as you're mine. So I think that that's basically everything that I need to preface or say. I'm very interested in how this is all going to look and sound, and just how they're gonna bring the musical onto the screen. And so why don't we just get into it? 3, 2, 1, press and play, just in case something happens.
Are people born wicked?
Oh? Oh, that's a really nice shot. Just the hat. Oh my god, guys! Okay, so we've seen this before. This was part of a teaser, right?
You're green.
I am.
Oh my god, okay. I have so many thoughts already, but I'll try to save it. Okay, so that's Fiero, probably. I love how Elphaba looks. I love her hair. Okay, so we have some hints. I love that.
I do not. I was promised a private suite. But thanks for asking.
Okay, I love that. That was great delivery. Like, that was a great show. Oh, they're like fighting. What the heck? Okay, so we may get into more of the... Was that... Wait, Dr. Dillman, he's just a goat! He's not a goat person, he's just a goat! Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, so usually I just watch things through, and I feel like we have to go back, because I'm so overwhelmed. Like, there's just so much... Oh my god.
Thanks for asking.
There's just so much happening. Oh my god. Okay, that's great. So I guess they're gonna focus more on the school life, I'm assuming, based on this.
Please, everyone take your seats.
Oh my god, Dr. Dillman, I can't! So that must be when they're going to the Ozdust, right?
Has become all too rare.
Okay.
Absolutely remarkable.
That was you who made all that happen.
Okay, so that's Nessa floating.
I've never known. You. Come with me.
Of course.
Not you.
I love that!
You. You're the one the wizard has been waiting for.
Oh my god, guys, I'm literally so, like, I know people say, like, gagged, right? Like, I just, oh my god.
It's my granny.
Oh,
Not give
okay.
it away, but
Glinda
I don't
has
hate anyone that
friends.
Hey.
You should join us tonight. And don't tell me you have nothing to wear.
I like how they,
Wear this.
because in the show I think they say, yes you do, right? And so it's a bit more subtle. They're just like, hey, and like her coming in. Oh my god.
She doesn't give a twink when anyone thinks.
Something is...
I like how the Ozdust just looks like it's like literally, like just literally in someone's basement. I think that that's fantastic, by the way.
Summons you to the Emerald City. Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
I like that. I did see that, like, as a clip. I feel like that's, again, a very good choice. I'm getting, like, goosebumps, all of it. I have so much to think about, like, to say. Oh, my God.
I'm terrible.
Okay, so this is a different riff than the riff that we've heard before.
The best way to bring folks
Oh, Glinda in her little bubble.
A real good
Shit, and like you're actually seeing like the propaganda too.
why I need you.
Oh my God.
Let her get away. This wicked witch.
Okay, now I'm like actually getting goosebumps. Oh my God.
Don't be afraid.
There's a baby. She's so little. Oh my God. I will say though, it seems like they're showing clips from.
It's the wizard.
Like, it's still part 1 and part 2, right? Like, I think they're still showing some clips. Maybe. I'll have to go back and look at them. Oh my God. Guys, like, this is gonna be so big. Like, this is gonna be like an actual event. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be literally insane. This is gonna be crazy. Okay, so what I wanna do. Okay, so I turned the opacity down so I could point at things in peace. I think that you guys can, yeah, it should be okay. It's a little transparent. You guys can see me point at certain things. And so I don't know what exactly, like, this person, like, I don't know if this is just a random person. It seems like someone on horseback. I know, like, Fiyero obviously is sort of out and about, right? Like, in Act 2 of the musical after the March of the Witch Hunters and everything like that. Like, when that stuff starts, not necessarily after that song. But, you know, Fiero's out and about, so he could be disguised on horseback. I don't know exactly. I can't pinpoint exactly that situation right there, but wow, like, I thought that the CGI would look a little bad. I don't know. I'm not really a CGI person. I'm more of a, what do you call it? Like, when they actually make the thing, like, what is it, specialized effects or something? Like, instead of a CGI, I don't know, Rocket Raccoon, like, they actually make the puppet. Like, I'm more of a that sort of person. I like the practical effects. Anyway, whatever, like, you guys can probably tell, I'm a musical theater performer. I'm not a film person. Again, anime. Love this shot. I love how it's just the hat and some embers, it seems. Now, here's the thing. To me, this seems like the end of the show because, well, I don't know, spoilers, question mark? I'm sure we all know how it ends, right? And so, spoilers, I guess, if you care, but, like, Elphaba falls through a trap door, right? This is after she's melted. So it's weird that they're showing clips from supposedly the end of the show, but maybe what they're doing is that in No One Mourns the Wicked, we see this, and it's like the audience that doesn't know Wicked, they're gonna think that she's dead, right? And so this could still be at the beginning, but I love how it's reflected. Like, I thought that was really good. But yeah, I'm curious because it doesn't, I don't know. Some people are saying that some of the scenes are from part 2. Like, some people think that there's a scene in here that's supposed to be As Long As You're Mine with Fiyero and Elphaba. I don't think so. I actually think that that's when they release the lion, so that's just me. We'll have to keep looking. We'll have to investigate. Right? But Ariana Grande sounds really good, like, in her acting and her speaking, I will say. I'm just gonna call them by their character names, by the way, because like I said, I don't know any of them. The school looks really nice. It looks real. Like, again, I don't know, like, because I do see movies occasionally. I don't want you guys to think that I'm, like, Amish or something and I don't watch TV. Like, I do see movies occasionally, right? And, like, I guess lately, in compared to back in the day, I don't know, like, older movies and stuff, it just feels as though things feel really fake, whereas I look at that building and I'm like, yeah, I believe it. Like, it looks fantastical, but it doesn't look like CGI fake. It probably is CGI. I'm assuming that that's not like a whole set or something like that, but it has a realness to it while still being fantasy. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I like this shot with the shoes. I wonder if the ring is gonna have any significance. They kind of pan to that a couple times. I wonder if is Elphaba, she's the firstborn, isn't she? And so is that like her firstborn ring? But then it goes to Nessa in the second act. So yeah, maybe it's, I don't know, something like that. I like how long her nails are. I think that that's really great. I just love her hair. But we have seen this before. This was in a teaser, right? And so yeah, I love Ariana Grande's acting, Glinda's acting, and she has such like big eyes that I feel like that just her face looks very cartoony in a good way. Don't come for me, like that's my preference, and so she has very big expression right there, and so I like that, right? Because that's one of the things too, like film acting. I remember, so I took film in school, right? That was still part of our program, even though we're musical theater performers. And I remember always getting the note, because we're all theater kids, right? And so it was like, stop doing so much. Stop. And I remember I sent in a self-tape where I did not do anything. Like literally, like this is all that I did. I don't think I even smiled, and my teacher was like, perfect. It's so authentic. There's such a connection. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even do anything, right? And so for film, you're acting intimately with the camera, I guess. But I like the theater acting and how theatrical everything is. And so how do you mend those two things together? How do you make it still expressive, but still not too goofy, I guess, for the screen, right? So I think as far as I can see in how they're doing it, obviously it's a bit more subdued, but I feel like that it's still theatrical and appropriately dramatic, right? So
Yeah.
I like that. I like this, like just how sarcastic this is, right? Oh man, but yeah, I love the shot of the school. So I feel like that they're gonna go more into the school life to kind of not pad out the movie, but like maybe a little padding of the movie, right? Prince Fiero at Shiz. Okay, I'm assuming that's like in roles or like coming there, right? And I love Glinda on the boat with all her suitcases. I love that her little gondola is pink. And see, this is the interesting thing about seeing something that was originally a musical translated into a movie, because I would have never thought that like Shiz was like this, like had a river and a gondola. Oh, I read the books, by the way, if anyone's wondering, but I read them when I was 12, so I don't really remember. Like, maybe this was in the books, but that's another nice thing to see. They're making really strong choices about the school and about the setting, stuff that we wouldn't necessarily see in the Broadway show. Like, I like this Italian gondola type situation, and I think that that's such an interesting a creative thing, and it makes it feel like fantasy, but again, still, it's not like they're going by broomstick, right? Because they say in the trailer, magic is kind of a rarity, right? So I like how it's still fantastical. Like, we don't go to school in boats, at least most of us, but it's also still, it's still grounded, right? Okay, so that's Fiero. So, okay, what I do know is that I think that this is a guy from Bridgerton, but, like, he does not look the same. The sideburns, it's the sideburns, man. Without his sideburns, I did not recognize him. I think my mom had to tell me.
University.
Which is hilarious, but yeah, I love this. I think that even some male presenting actors are also like kind of like, hey, and so I love that. I think that that's a great choice. Like, everyone is in love with Fiero equally. But let's listen to this.
University, Miss
Elphaba.
You can room with Miss Glinda.
Yeah, I love her. She says it with such a smile on her face, but she knows that she's being fuckity, right? And so I love that, Madame Morrible, of course. But yeah, I love Glinda's face. Again, it's one of those things where these are like subdued reactions for film, like for the camera. But at the same time, it still feels more animated than I usually see of actors, I suppose, of film actors, right? And so I love this. I love Glinda introducing her to the room, and it's Glinda has literally taken over everything. But I love how earnest she says, I left you a spy.
Oh, I saved you some space, by the way.
Like, she doesn't know that she's being mean, which is important. I mean, sometimes Glinda is being mean on purpose, like when she gives Elphaba the hat, right? But this seems like she's actually trying to be nice, and so I think that I love this.
Think this is fair?
I do not. I was promised a private suite.
And I love just her
Thanks for
smile,
asking.
like as she's
Oh, I saved you
looking
some
in
space, by the
between
way.
the
Do
clothes.
you really think this is fair?
Like right here, like that's just great. Like, look at their faces. Obviously, you guys, I know I have it transparent, but like, look at their faces. It's great. I love it. I love
I do
just
not.
all
I
of the choices.
Promised a private suite. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, see, and I love that. Like, that's great delivery. Okay, so I think this is during Popular. Oh, yeah. Now I'm remembering. During the show, I think during Popular, she loses the glasses, and I'm like, girl, don't you need those to see? They're not just for decoration, right? But anyway. But yeah, it seems like those are definitely, I would say those are definitely some shots. These are shots from Popular, especially because they're
Private
playing a
suite.
little bit of
But
it,
thanks
right?
for asking.
I also love how everybody's in uniform, but I guess Glinda gets to wear a variation of the uniform that's pink. That is very, that I love that. Like, that appeals to me greatly, as you guys can tell. But yeah, I think that this is during the Popular makeover for sure. I I guess that this is during loathing, so I'm assuming what they're gonna do is instead of just in the show, I think that they're still kind of in the process of moving in, like that's what they're doing, they're unpacking. What I'm assuming is going to happen just by looking at this, I have a feeling that they're going to start off writing the letters like how it happens in the show, but it's gonna be more of a montage of how much they hate each other and the antics that they get up to in class. Also, I love this hairstyle, love the bun, I love like the leotard, like the ballet leotard, but I love how they're, like, what kind of school is this exactly? Combat! I mean, I guess it makes sense then why people are so easily, like, mobilizing against Elphaba. Like, they all know how to fight. Like, I guess everybody, it's sort of that fantasy world, like, everyone's trained in some sort of combat, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, so I'm guessing that this is, again, this seems like, what is this feeling coded to me? That this is gonna be some sort of montage. Oh no, she has a ponytail. Love the ponytail. Like, I love the variations in hairstyles for Elphaba. I think that that's really fun. It seems like they're in some sort of alchemy class, I would guess, because they have aprons on. This is also a long trailer too, like there's so much to look at. I think that this is probably, well, happens at the end of What Is This Feeling, right? And so I feel like that it's either that or maybe they move that moment to when they're actually friends, so it's a bit more friendly, but maybe they kept it in the same spot.
Please, everyone take your...
Okay, Dr. Dillamon being an actual goat, I don't know where they're going with this, right? Because I don't know if this is true in the books. I can't exactly remember, but in the stage musical, the goats they're kind of like Faunus from Ruby. If you guys have seen Ruby, I talk about Ruby on my other channel, but in Ruby, Faunus are humans that have animal traits, and that's what I was always thinking about in terms of Wicked. At least when I read the books, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that the stage musical interpretation of the animals are, they say animals, capital A, they're like bipedal, I guess, right? Like the lion. You know how we see the lion in The Wizard of Oz, right? Because it's supposed to all sort of track. So it's a kind of humanoid with more animal features than human. This man is on all fours, which I know is part of the thing that the animals are losing their ability to speak. But the fact that he's already teaching on all fours as a goat, like, that's a little confusing. I'm interested to see what they're doing with that. I wonder if they're gonna take, because the books are very political. The musical is not as political as the books are. Like, yes, there's still some stuff, obviously, with the animals and Elphaba fighting for them, and then also Elphaba herself being an outcast, right? But, like, the books are like Elphaba does terrorism. That is what the books are about. So I just wonder if they're gonna take out the animal racism subplot and just make it about something else, because as I'm like looking at Dr. Dillamon, he is a goat. There's nothing that says that he is a goat man who is slowly becoming more goat than human. If our first appearance of him, he is more goat, right? I don't know. I just wonder what they're doing. Exactly. I don't know. I just want to see this wide shot to see if we can find anything interesting other than this this ensemble member's sweater is pretty fantastic, but I think that's it. I do like how there's a mix of old and, I guess, new quote-unquote technology. Again, it's sort of that magic situation because this is a very old, you know, in Tarzan when they show Tarzan all the photos, right? This is an old sort of slide machine, and so I like how everything has a sort of steampunk. I think that's actually Nessa. I think that Nessa is right there if you guys can see. But I like this lore that real sorcerers possessing magic are very rare.
Magic has become all too rare.
But then Elphaba's just do it. I wonder if you could actually read this. I think you could. The spells of earth are grounding spells to weather? Are grounding spells to weather. Oh, okay, the spells of earth. Interesting. Yeah, okay, the spells of earth. Oh, no, it's just repeating some of the same text. Yeah, the spells of earth are grounding. So you can read this, but some of it is repeated, which is pretty normal because nobody's gonna sit there and pause unless you're me. I'll sit there and pause, I suppose. But yes, I love the scene with the coin. I feel like that this is Elphaba as a child. I feel like that this is her as a kid for some reason. I don't get the impression that that's her as an adult. I don't know why. In terms of the flowers, I have a feeling that this is Fiyero related. Fiyero
That was
adjacent.
you who made all that happen.
I don't know. I feel like that her anger, at least, like the reason why the flowers are flying is because of Fiyero, because I think the flowers have some significance in the
Made all
show.
that happen.
So, but yeah, okay, now that I'm looking at him, I recognize that Bridgerton facial expression anywhere. But before that, without the sideburns, I could not recognize him. Oh, man. But yeah, I like the keys. See, the Nessa thing is interesting because, again, in differences with the stage musical compared to the movie, right? Nessa just, like, spins around. And so her reaction of being pissed at Elphaba is, like a little warranted, but not that much because she just made her do a little circle, right? But this is like levitating her into the air. Like, it kind of changes the context of that scene because I'm like, yeah, I kind of get why Nessa was mad now, right? She like shot her up into the stratosphere. I'd be mad too, bestie, right? But in the show, it's just to get other people away from her so they're not separated. So it's a bit more, but like for her to be flying up in the air, yeah, I get why Nessa was
How did you do it?
I don't know. I've never known.
But I love that. I love how we're seeing more scenes of accidental magic, I suppose you could say.
You.
I want to see, is there any
I've
sort
never
of
known.
symbolism maybe in this coming off? Because I'm assuming that that's the wizard, because you see the hot air balloon in the back, so that's very nice foreshadowing right there. The fact that maybe Elphaba's the one that breaks that, because it showcases that in the future, because I'm assuming that we're still at the school at this point, and so she hasn't gotten into her beef with the wizard, and so when you're looking at this is foreshadowing to the fact that they will be in conflict later on, even if Elphaba didn't do it intentionally back then, so that's really nice.
You.
But yeah, I love destruction. Great.
Come with me.
Of course.
Not you. You.
But yeah, I thought that was a really good scene. Again, I like how you actually have to light the lights because it's sort of a mixture of technology going on.
You're the one the wizard
I do wonder about the ring. I feel like that is a family situation, like to show that Elphaba's the heir, and then obviously that gets stripped from her at some point, right? So, but I like this. I like these scenes with Madame Morrible, because I guess, I don't know if I really clocked this as a kid, or if this is as evident in the show, but as I'm looking at these scenes, I feel like that, so Elphaba's mother died in childbirth, right? And so I feel like just looking at these scenes, it may be that they're trying to make a more in-depth relationship with Morrible, that she's the mother figure that Elphaba never had, right? And so I feel like that's gonna be really heartbreaking, like it's gonna be heartbreaking when they betray her, practically, right? And so I feel like that's really interesting that they may be deepening their relationship a bit more.
Glinda.
But yeah, I love Glinda's face. I wonder what is happening. It could be what is this feeling, but
Glinda?
it could be dancing through life. I feel like it might be dancing through life. I'm not sure
Glinda?
though. It's hard to tell.
Ew. I know.
But yeah,
It's
I
my
like
Grammys.
Glinda's
I'd give it away,
friends. I
but
mean, she had friends
I don't
in the
hate anyone
stage
that
show
much.
as well, but
Hey.
yeah,
You
I
should
kind of
join us
like
tonight.
the
And don't tell me
hey.
you have nothing to wear. Because you could wear this.
I mean, they might still have that line of, like, there's no one I hate that much. Yes, you do, right? Or whatever it is. But I feel like that this is a bit more subtle, at least. I love all of the costumes, too. It feels appropriately, like, weirdly Gatsby-esque, like a kind of 1920s. But again, right, that's, when you think about the time period that the wizard was actually from, I really appreciate that things don't look too modern looking. I'm kind of like an
You have
old
nothing to wear.
old
Because you
school
could wear
fashion
this.
girly. I don't know if you guys can tell. But yeah, I just love all the costume design too. I mean, this room, if we like actually went through, does Elphaba have freckles? That's really, really cute. Cute if true, but I can't tell. But yeah, like this is, you could look at everyone's outfit here and just be like, oh my god, like the girl that's beside, where's my pointer? The girl that's beside Nessa, kind of like a very sparkly, sort of modern, but like also giving like flapper dress. I think there's another sort of like dress that reminds me of like old style dress back there. It's a nice mix of like whimsy. See, this is what we needed. We needed more whimsy. Movies, the reason why I don't like movies a lot of the time, and I stick to animation, is that movies, everything is dark. Everything is gritty. You know, even Disney remakes, like, I don't know, The Lion King is like actually bad, right? But even like some of the scenes from The Little Mermaid, I love all of the acting performances, but some of the scenes themselves are lacking color, they're lacking whimsy, they're lacking vibrance, right? Even though I love the actors and some of the new songs that they added and everything. And so, like, this is what we needed. We just needed a little bit of whimsy, right? And so that makes me really happy. But I love Elphaba putting on the hat.
She doesn't give a twink when anyone thinks.
I wonder if Fiyero is, like, Fiyero British accent canon. I can't tell.
She doesn't give a twink when anyone thinks.
I don't know, that may have been more, she doesn't give a twig what anyone thinks. You know, it could have been more like that. I don't know if that was the Bridgerton accent coming through. But even like, look at this lady that's behind. I'm just, oh guys, I just love costumes. Like, is she like the feather thing? Like, it just, oh my god, I love it. Yeah, Fiero's outfit is interesting as well, because in the book he has all these tattoos. I don't think they're giving him the tattoos, but what he's wearing reminds me of how the tattoos, I believe, are described in the book, as like there's sort of like a sun imagery sort of going on.
Thanks.
But yeah, I love just, again, people's hair are sort of dyed, right? Like, there's a lot of sparkles. Like, I mean, I think it's funny. Some people were like, oh, the Oz dust is just a basement. And I'm like, actually, yeah. Like, I kind of believe it. Like, that's how I always imagined it. Like, yeah, they're just kind of in a basement somewhere partying. I think that that's perfectly, I guess because it's called the Oz Dust Ballroom, people expected, you know, giant chandelier and all that stuff. But to me, them just being college kids partying in some random underground club made a lot of sense, right? But I like this. I love how you can really see in Glinda's face that she realizes that she fucked up, basically. And seeing her hurt and vulnerable for the first time, I feel like really changed things for Glinda and made her realize she did a bad thing. But yeah, I love the messenger balloon with the mail. The invitation looks really nice. I love the train. The train is the first thing where I'm like, yeah, that looks a little fake, but honestly, I'll give it a pass. Like, that's the only thing where I'm like, I love how they're waving to her. Like, it seems like even the other students eventually came around. My only complaint, I guess, is that for this outfit for Glinda, I wish it was a little more vibrant. It's a very, like, maybe in this lighting it's a little better. I like more vibrant pink because it tends to wash me out. I feel like that Glinda's a little bit washed out here just because of the tone of pink that they chose, but it's still a nice dress. I like the ruffles, again, appropriate amounts of whimsy, and I like that scene, like, oh, this is your moment, I couldn't possibly, yeah, I'm coming. Like, that's such good dialogue for Glinda and so earnest and everything. I love seeing the Emerald City. Again, this is the only thing where I'm like, in comparison to the school, it looks a little fake, but I feel like that's also okay, because it is the Emerald City, and there's the wizard is kind of putting on these fronts, right? And so I think that that's actually appropriate, that it kind of looks gaudy, and again, like, I feel like Gatsby's the only thing I'm thinking about, but like, I feel like if Gatsby designed something, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Gatsby was in The Wizard of Oz, he would be doing kind of outrageous, like that balcony that we just saw, like, covered in gold and everything. Like, I feel like that's appropriately gaudy, and like, it even has these feathers. It's just crazy. I just love it. And I love seeing everybody in green. It's all green. I mean, some of it's gold, but like, that's okay. But yeah, I just love seeing everyone. I think that one short day is gonna be really, really cool in this setting, so I'm super excited. I wish the flowers were green. I know that not everything has to be green, but that would be cool if there were some flowers that didn't necessarily look normal. But yeah, I like the defying gravity lit motif that we're hearing. Okay, yeah, so we have the monkey guards. I feel like that this is appropriately dark, because I think it's supposed to be a little spooky. I like how they're holding hands. That's just so cute. I always shipped them over, you know, Fiyero nonsense, but, you know, that's just me. I mean, Elphaba and Fiyero was still fine. I'm just like, look at them. They're so cute. But yeah, this, I think, looks really nice. Like, there's a nice, again, uncanniness about it, but it looks more real, and I like the light bulbs that are inside of the eyes, like the City of Ember-esque sort of light bulbs in there. I like seeing the wizard behind the curtain. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that we've seen him. Apparently this guy's the famous actor too, and I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I like his little outfit. I like his vest. It kind of looks like there's some sort of eyeball in the middle of his shirt. I mean, that's probably just a pin or something, but I feel like that's a good detail, because it does seem like they're going with, at least, you see the propaganda, right? Like when they start to actually hunt Elphaba down. But yeah, I like the flying monkeys here. Nice to see more of the city, of course. Yeah, so something bad is happening in Oz. It's a reference to the Dr. Dillamon stuff, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't get the vibe that they're necessarily doing that anymore. I get the vibe more that maybe what's wrong with Oz is that, like, the magic is running out. Like, they're gonna do the magic is dying or something, right? Like, the wizard, the flying monkeys cannot, maybe that's what it is that there's like the magic is supposed to sustain stuff like the flying monkeys, and so because the wizard doesn't have real magic, they're suffering. I don't know. I'm just sort of wondering, like, is the animal conflict still in the movie? I don't know. But I think that this is probably No One Mourns the Wicked at the very beginning. But I love to see Munchkin Land. Again, the houses are really nice. I love how it's all plant. Like, it almost looks like it's made out of, it almost reminds me of The Hobbit. Like, the roofs are made out of plants, obviously, but I think that even the body of the houses are too. Like, that's really interesting. I love the bubble carriage. I like how it's kind of like a shell.
You have a real good enemy.
But yeah, and so that's, again, this is when they're conspiring against Elphaba. So this is what I guess people meant when they said that
Real good
this is
enemy.
part of the second part of the movie. Like, this is supposed to be part of the second part of the movie, but this can still be in the first part. Like, I don't know, because it's weird. How are they going to, it's not like defying gravity and curtains close. Like, you have to close out the movie somehow. So I wonder if it'll be that they close on Dorothy or something. Like, they close on Dorothy and, like, giving Dorothy the task to go kill Elphaba? I don't know, because you need a big, like, cliffhanger moment. Defying Gravity is a good closer when it's a Broadway show, but I don't know if it's a good cliffhanger in terms of, like, what we're talking about. So I don't know how they're gonna, like, they can't just have Elphaba fly away and then the movie's over, I don't think. I think it needs to be something a bit more, like, the witch hunters are marching in the distance with Dorothy. Like, it needs to be, there has to be a big button, right? But yeah, this is, like, fucked up. Like, the propaganda that they're doing of Elphaba, they do talk about this in the movie, or sorry, they do talk about this in the musical, obviously. But I think that to actually see it, like, I don't think that something like this, like the banner, is actually in the show. It's just that, you know, Fiera was like, people are so empty-headed, they'll believe anything. And so you get that vibe, but I wonder if this is kind of, these are the themes that they're going for, right? How the wizard is manipulating public opinion and everything like that, as opposed to, again, the animal conflict. Maybe they're going more with these sort of themes, right? This is fucked up. Like, the fact that they're burning a fake Elphaba at the stake. Like, holy shit. I feel like this is so much worse than it was in the show, right? Okay, yeah. So this is where I'm like, this is getting confusing, because these are things where I'm like, no, but she has to find that out, I think. She has to find that out before defying gravity, though. I'm pretty sure. Maybe? I don't know. It's, again, I saw the show when I was 12, and since then I've only listened to the soundtrack. I mean, I know that, obviously, there's a point where she does go back and see the wizard. That's why he has wonderful, like, his wonderful musical number, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I guess this could be still happening before defying gravity, and that's why she...
You have no real power.
But I really liked that delivery. And I just love her facial expression. Again, it feels theatrical, but then appropriate for film, I suppose.
No real power.
Yeah, because this is when they're breaking down the door, so I'm assuming that this is still confronting the wizard, right? Like, they're trying to get in after Elphaba locked it. But yeah, I love that, like, that's why I need you, and then Madame Horrible coming out. I like how she's almost dressed in the same similar clothes that Elphaba is dressed in at the end of the show. That's what it reminds me of, and so I think earlier she's in brighter colors, if I'm not mistaken, and so now that we find out that she's she's in eval colors, I guess you could say, right? I can't find this this lady for the life of me. I don't know when we last saw her. This trailer is really long. But yeah, see, so here she is in she's in brighter colors and more, you know, the blue is more like shiz colors. But then when we see her over here, she's in totally like different clothes, right? So now you know. I like how I don't quite understand though. I guess maybe they tried to do the balloon, but then it didn't work, and that's why Elphaba considered leaving Glinda behind. Maybe that's what happened, is that they try to escape via balloon, but it doesn't work, but then the broomstick works, and so Elphaba has to make her escape alone.
Wicked witch.
But yeah, I think that these kids are probably just, I mean, this could be part of the flashback sequence, like kids playing outside of Munchkinland, but oh my god, that shot is beautiful. Like, I could believe that these were real flowers. I just love how it looks. Again, whimsy. Yeah, I would say that that might be outside of Munchkinland, so I think that maybe this could be part of the backstory, right? Okay, people think that this is part of As Long As You're Mine. I don't think so. I think that this is probably when they free the lion, maybe. Because maybe, I see, the problem is I don't know what Elphaba's doing, because that's a very, like, they're very far apart. It's definitely not a, like, intimate touching your face. Maybe the lion scratched him or something? She's still wearing her ring, so that's good for our continuity, like our timeline. So I don't think that this is As Long As You're Mine. She's also in white, and so I think that this is what's underneath their regular school uniform, and so I think the lion, he's shivering, he's cold, so I think that they take off their jackets. So I think that this is, again, after they save the lion, but like before I'm Not That Girl, kind of in that vein. I don't think that this is As Long As You're Mine. So they could still be showing. I guess what people were complaining about is that some people feel like that the general audience is being deceived and that they're marketing this as only one movie, right? And so I think that when people were like, oh, but they're putting stuff from the second part in there and that's deceiving people, I don't think that there's anything actually in this trailer that is from the second half. At least that I can see so far. There's nothing that indicates to me that there is stuff from As Long As You're Mine or March of the Witch Hunters or whatever, the Wonderful and all of that stuff, except for the stuff that could maybe, again, be mistaken. Like, I feel like that this is a case of mistaken identity, right? I feel like that this is probably the scene that they have with the lion cub and whatever. But I do understand why people feel that way, though, about the title, because what are they gonna call it? I don't know. Like, are they gonna call it Wicked, the Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West? Like, are they gonna do the book title? Like, are they gonna call it something else? I don't know, because this is not Wicked Part 1, it's just Wicked, so I'm baffled as well. Like, I wonder what they're gonna do, but I wouldn't say that there's anything inherently sort of deceptive. This is all Act 1 stuff, as far as I can tell. Like, this is Elphaba escaping. Glinda's still, I'm pretty sure she's still in the same ruffly dress right there, so. I wanna see, what is this? Is this still at Chiz? Maybe? Yeah, because I think that guy over there is Glinda's friend, because he's wearing the same ascot, and then Nessa's behind them. So, I don't know. I don't know what exactly this would be. It could still be during the dance, I suppose. But yeah, I love the broom just, like,
Don't be afraid.
floating by itself is great. But yeah, I love this. I love seeing, oh yeah, she does have freckles. She's so cute. But yeah, I love seeing Elphaba as a child. I hope that the movie goes more into that. The other Munchkin children, obviously. But like, she's so cute. I just want to like squeeze. She's so cute, and her little freckles and her little glasses. Oh my god. I feel like so many people are gonna be able to see themselves in Elphaba, because at the end of the day, I mean, most musicals are, right? But like, most musicals are outcast stories, right? Even if you think of Disney movies, right? Quasimodo, Ariel to some extent feels like an outcast, Aladdin feels like an outcast. He's like, I wish people would see there's so much more to me, right? Hercules is an outcast because he keeps breaking shit. Obviously, those are Disney movies, right? But most musicals are outcast stories, but I can just imagine as a little girl, as a girl that used to be little and have glasses like that, I would be like, oh my god, that's me. Right? Like, I don't know. I look at this Elphaba child and I'm just like, oh my god, this is exactly, I may show you guys a picture if I have time. Like, this is exactly how I looked as a child with my tiny little glasses. Oh my god. And so I feel like so many people are gonna be seen. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. But yeah, I think maybe what's happening is that the people laughing at her now, we're getting a flashback of how she felt back then, and so that's how they're delivering the backstory. It could also be during the sequence of No One Mourns the Wicked. It could also be that, because obviously there's a lot of transitions in that scene. We have Elphaba's mom getting pregnant, we have her giving birth, right? And so it could be in that scene somewhere that those shots happen. But almost like how we cut between those, I'm kind of inclined to think that it's happening during Dancing Through Life when Elphaba's judged by everyone. She's remembering how she was judged back then as well. But yeah, I love this scene with the flower in her hair. Like, why can't they end up together, man? I don't know. Like, anyway, I know that that's not happening. But I would appreciate it. But I love these shots. I love how they kept that line. I like the rift. Some people, I don't know, they were complaining or something, but like, it's whatever interpretation. That's the important thing to remember, I guess, as we're closing off my little analysis of everything. It's important to remember that Broadway shows are not supposed to be stagnant. And I guess that's why I like musicals more than I like movies sometimes, right? Because a movie, it's you film it and that's it. Whereas people call Hadestown, for example, a living musical, because as the cast rotates, there's all these different interpretations of the character. Like, it is very alive. And every time you go see it, it's the same story presented a little bit differently. I feel like people should not be complaining, though, in that case, right? Because musicals are like that the actors are doing different choices than Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth and, like, the people on the original soundtrack. That is not... Theater is not that. Like, actors should make the characters their own. And so, with the different riffs and everything that people have been hearing, that doesn't bother me. I want to see how these actors interpret the character. I don't want to see them doing a copy of somebody else's acting choices. That's how I feel personally. But yes, great trailer. We've talked for almost an hour, so clearly it's only 3 minutes of the 3-minute trailer, but I had a lot to say. This was really fun to do. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Check out my other musical theater videos. Oh my goodness. I'm just so excited. I'm losing my voice. But yes, check out my other musical theater videos. Again, reactions won't happen too often, but if there's something worth reacting to, why not? And if you guys want to take a look, you can check out my video. What would be best? What would be best for the Wicked audience? I feel like that the video about Preminger still gotta recommend. So go watch my video about Preminger. That's a pretty good, I think, first video for people to watch in terms of understanding how I analyze and break down songs. So yes, I will redirect you to Barbie Princess and the Popper, but I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!